So let's get into the business model. So you identify that things like communication skills, negotiation skills are important skills across a variety of industries and jobs. What did you then do to create these courses or this e-learning?
So I was quite clever, really. I looked at this industry particularly, and I looked at the problem with most businesses that I think people set up is they think that their USP is them, or they're slightly cheaper than their competitors, where I really like to look at an industry where you can create a genuine alternative to what's out there. So the reason why Uber does so well is because the way that they've got a completely different model to how traditionally you would book a taxi or you would hail a cab, whatever it might be. So I looked at e-learning and I looked at everything that was wrong with that industry. Number one, the content was too long. It was boring. It was basically created by geeks, not people that had been in business or had to train or develop staff. It was long contracts. It was expensive for what it was. People would price per head, per course. And I don't think it was fit for purpose. And then the people in the industry also tried to make out like online learning and e-learning was the be-all and end-all of training, when the reality is it isn't. It's such a small part of your learning journey. And I think, actually, even though I sold the stuff, quite an insignificant part. I would think it's better for pre-learning. So it's good for introducing concepts and languages. And then the real learning takes place either through experience, shadowing people, on the shop floor, wherever it might be, on the factory floor. So I basically thought, how can I create an actual alternative to what's out there? And that's what we did. So we went and we had a cancel anytime rolling contract, which nobody else did at the time. It was new content every week rather than trying to sell big expensive catalogs that most people wouldn't use. It was not priced per head. It was not priced per course. So that's kind of what we did, and we created a genuine alternative to what was out there. And then the way we marketed it was very different. So we would market it in a way where we actually took shots at our industry, where we would say e-learning's crap, and we know because we make it for a living. And that really caught the attention because it's not often that people would talk like that about the industry that they are in. And that's kind of how we managed to A, get a lot of attention with no marketing budget, and B, because we genuinely had a real alternative, it meant that even if our clients used another provider for their content, we were a low-cost option that they could bolt on. So we didn't have to wait 2 years, 3 years, 4 years for the existing contract to run out. They could try us for a few months, see that our content was better, and then they would keep us in place while that other contract ended, and then they'd go exclusively with us. But we were so low cost that we signed up lots and lots and lots of clients very early on. But the smart move came where our content could be used on anybody's learning management system, which is the platform that big companies use to track what learners are registered, what courses they've done, pass and fail rates. So instead of trying to create an expensive system like most of our competitors, we just created content that worked on everybody's system, which then meant my plan was to sell in 3 years. I could proactively, aggressively target some companies, and I could go in peace and try and partner other companies to work together. And I knew that one of those two strategies would result in me getting a sale at the end of 3 years.
Thanks for watching today's video. To grab your free copy of John Warrillow's best-selling book, Built to Sell, head over to builttosell.com. John's book, Built to Sell, has been endorsed by well-known entrepreneurs like Tim Ferriss, Patrick Bet-David, Dan Lok, amongst many others. But don't just hear it from me, hear it from them.
The most well-known book is Built to Sell. That would be the mega best-selling book. Built to Sell gave me the steps, like exactly what to do, right?
One of them being a book I read in 2012 titled Built to Sell that I've recommended to any entrepreneur out there.
There's a good book actually that people can read, which gives them pretty much the gist in the title, and that is Built to Sell.
This book talks about how to get your life back once your business takes over, how to focus on doing what you're supposed to be doing well, and how to build a scalable business that can be sold. Building a business that can be sold is much different than building a profitable business that relies on you and you are the bottleneck inside your entire company.